to Shooting the Shit with Vicki, and I just realized I didn't turn off my notifications, so who knows what'll happen. Hi, I don't know what this is. I don't know. I decided to wear this, and I don't know what that is, and I was sure I was going to be on time, and anyway, it's Monday, August 18th. And hopefully I'll see the notifications today and we'll be able to chat. Somebody's here. Tell me who it is. Oh, a few people are starting to come in. Tell me, say hi so I know that the chat is working today. Esther. Hi, Esther. Oh, that's good to see. How are you? I'm doing good. We'll see how long I can stand. I'm wearing this very voluminous weird shirt that Craig fixed for me. Look at this back. It's got like this odd back. He took in the sleeves, he took in the sides, and it's still enormous. Hi, Jim. How are you? Hi, Dot. People are wandering in. I have feathers again. And I hadn't had feathers in my hair since Samantha's wedding. And Craig put them back in for me. And I had this great turquoise feather, and it snapped today. And it was like I have a red one, but I had this great turquoise one. Can you see it? It's up here somewhere. But it snapped off, and now there's just a little piece of it. Oh, you can't even see it. So, and this side's like all dark and everything. And then I thought, am I over the feathers? Is it enough with the feathers? I've been wearing feathers for about 14 years, and I thought, is this crazy? I don't know, 13 years, something. And not having them for 2 weeks, I thought, oh, I felt kind of good, but kind of naked without them. Hey, Tony. So Craig put them back in for me, and this one, I finally found a colorful one. But yeah, that beautiful turquoise feather snapped, and so I'm gonna get all of this kind that has like, anyway, is this boring? Hi, Valerie. I don't know, I'm killing time. And this, I don't know what this is. I wanted like a little pink scarf, and then I happened upon this, and then I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. Should I wear it in like this? Should I wear it like that? No, and then I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. I never do anything like that. I don't know. I'm breaking it up, people. And I hate the whole people thing. That's not me. So I'm not going to do that again, I hope. Hey, Tony. Tony. Missed you last week, Tony. I hope everything is good with you guys. I'm going to give you a Rufus update when there's some more people here. We've been going out into the world a lot for the past week. We went out Wednesday night, we went out Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. What is that? We never do that. Somebody's loving us up over there. How's my big boo-boo? Is that Rufus that you're talking about? Hey, Maria, is he my big boo-boo? Well, this is sort of my big boo-boo. Yes, I am with tennis elbow, it turns out. And it turns out that tennis elbow has nothing to do with tennis. I haven't played tennis in 8 years. Since I was 8 years old. So that would be a long delay between the injury and the game. So anyway, it turns out I was going to bring all my toys to show you. Oh, shoot. Hang on a second. I was going to bring you my toys so you guys could see all the stuff I have to do. I have grippers and balls and finger things and stretchy bands and all kinds of things to do. But meanwhile, this thing hurts like a motherfucker. Wow, this hurts. And so when the orthopedist was giving me an exam, he was pressing on things, and a couple of them, I swear I saw stars. And he said, it all originates down here. Now, it's not carpal tunnel, but it is caused by my wrist, And should I be wearing these? Should I be rolling up my sleeves and showing off my my injury? Is that a better look? With my black arm? No. So, in any case, this is the shirt that I wore to Samantha's shower, and it was a total fashion no. Well, first of all, Craig took in the sides a little bit because it was so voluminous, and he made the sleeves a little tighter. They're still huge, but look at the back. He couldn't do much with that because it's like this odd thing. What is that? What is that? I don't know what that is. But anyway, it's free people and it's wild. And I'm having such a hard time. I used to go to TJ Maxx and Nordstrom Rack, and I would go in there like, I don't know, once every few months, and I used to wear a new shirt for a new top for women who ride once a month. And I think for Game Changers, I would rotate them. But anyway, I would go in and like every few months, I would get like a bunch of tops. And I'm telling you, I can't find shirts that I like. The Free People ones are just all too voluminous. And yeah, Nordstrom Rack and TJ Maxx, I don't like any of their stuff anymore. It just doesn't work. So I'm like at a loss. So yes, this is from Nordstrom Regular, but I feel like I'm wearing Daddy's shirt, which is kind of an okay thing. In any case, so we've been going out into the world, and as a matter of fact, after this show, I am going to go to a live meeting, which is something I've only done a handful of times since the pandemic, which is 5 and a third years now. Is that possible? March, April, May, June, July, August. It's almost 5.5 years. Oh, and I used to go to this Monday night meeting. It's a meeting for writers who are sober. And I used to go there. I started in New York. It's where I got sober. And I started going there almost 25 years ago. And I went every Monday night. And then when I moved out to LA, I started coming to the one out here on Monday nights. Well, there it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday evenings, actually. Here it's Monday. And I drove all the way from Montrose to Pasadena. No, hello. That's not far. I drove all the way from Montrose to the Palisades every Monday night. And in New York, it was, just on the Upper West Side. It wasn't a big deal. You hop on a subway and you're there. Or I could even walk from my house to the one in New York. But here, it was a long drive. It was almost an hour each direction. For an hour and 15 minute, I think it is, meeting. Maybe it's an hour and a half. I'm not even sure. I haven't been there in so long. And I would make that drive. And then there was a period when my friend Keats, I'm Keats. I had a friend Keats. I was Vicki Keats. He was Robert Keats. His birthday was October 28th. Mine's the 29th. We both went to the University of Arizona, although we didn't know each other there, both writers. And we met out here. I'm trying to remember how. Wasn't like a dating app or anything like that. I was still married when I met him. I'm trying to think of how I met him. On Facebook. He found me on Facebook because he looked up people that had gone to the University of Arizona. And we became very, very close friends and hung out a lot for a number of years. And then just before the pandemic, he got pancreatic cancer, and he was staying with his girlfriend in the Palisades. And I would drive out there from Montrose and spend about an hour with him before the meeting every Monday. And then he passed right before the pandemic, like a year before. But you can't give stars. Oh no, but thank you for trying, Pia. So in any case, I have not been to that. So the meeting is no longer in the Palisades. It turns out my ankle bracelet's bothering me with these little shoes. Sorry. The building that housed the Writing Sober meeting is gone. It burned, as did everything around it. And so now the meeting is in Santa Monica, which ends up being closer for me, actually, I think. And now I'm in Encino, so it's way closer for me than it was. And I have not been to this new location. I have not been to this meeting in 5.5 years. This meeting that I went every single Monday for years. So that's going to be really interesting. And a bunch of the same people are there. They've been holding down the fort, and I'm looking forward to seeing them in person. And I've only seen them on Zooms and things. So, so that's another step towards getting back to life, because I still feel compromised since the pandemic. I am still not back to, life has changed a lot. You know, just not doing Women Who Write and hosting 50 women in my living room once a month. It's been 5.5 years. And actually, I want your opinion on this. So it turns out my mother has become very good friends with Lainey Kazan. Lainey lives right above my mother at the place where they live. And you know, I knew Lainey, I met Lainey about 12 years ago, and then she did Women Who Write, and she did Game Changers, and I love Lainey, such a huge fan. And Rookie! Anyway, my favorite year, my favorite movie, and I got to interview Richard Benjamin about it as well, and he and Paula Prentice came to my home, which was amazing. And in any case, I interviewed Lainey at Connie Stevens' home. Connie also lives where my mother and Lainey live. But you know, the interview with Lainey was really spectacular. And Connie didn't come out. I didn't get to meet her. She wasn't feeling well. She was in bed that day when we were there. Pete George and I were there. And she didn't have internet. So Pete figured out how to use his phone and swap it to my phone as a hotspot. It was like a whole big thing. And there was like a bottle of like cleansing detergent behind us, and Connie's cleaning lady kept kept walking in and out of the show. It was really something, but it was a great interview. Lainey was fabulous. So anyway, Lainey's willing to do it again, and she's had a lot of health issues, and it's been a rough year or two for her, but she's doing great now, and I can't ask her to go on Zoom. You know, it just feels like that's not okay. I have to go over there, and I've got to interview her in person, which would mean we'd sit across the table from each other again, which I love. Lainey's been to my home. She's come here for the 4th of July, and I think she's been here more than once and had a barbecue with us. And but it'll be, you know, it's wonderful. I've seen her over there. My mother's where they live. And anyway, so my mother said to me, "Would you like an audience?" And I was like, "What? No, I don't do it in front of an audience. I've never done Game Changers in front of an audience." And then I thought, wait a minute, that would sort of be like merging the old Women Who Write with Game Changers. What if Lainey and I did a face-to-face interview? And I used to interview people at Women Who Write. It wasn't always that they got up and just presented. If I had a celebrity who didn't have a book, then I would get up there with them. Even though Mickey Dolenz did have a book, I got up and interviewed him there. I interviewed Cloris Leachman. I've interviewed a lot of people up at the front of the room. Not a lot, but it happened. And I thought, okay, and that was a live interview with an audience. And I thought, well, that would be interesting. What if I go over there and Lainey and I, there's a small little theater, and my mother could invite her friends, and Lainey can invite her friends, and I can interview Lainey in person. I mean, I couldn't do it at 5 o'clock because they eat pretty early over there. They actually cocktail hour. I know my mother goes down at 6, so I don't know, maybe 5 o'clock would work for them before cocktail hour. And maybe Snuffy will work the camera for me. And what do you think? By the way, I'm not seeing any comments again. Hi, Jan. Did I say that? Hi, Anita. I think I said hi to you guys. So what do you think about that? Rather than me just going over there and being alone with Lainey in her apartment and sitting there and doing the Zoom, what do you think about us having an audience? And then they could ask questions. We could take questions from the audience, although that might get a little crazy with microphones and stuff. I don't know if that'll work. But there would be laughter in the room, and there would be energy, hopefully, and there would be energy in the room. So and it would make me feel kind of like doing a Women Who Write again, which they actually have a space. Yeah, wouldn't it be fun? They actually have a space where I could do Women Who Write, I think. I think they have a big party room up there. And so it might be something to consider. You know, I used to do Women Who Write in New York twice a year at Christmas and in the summertime. And my mother would rent the party room in her building on the Upper West Side. And I'm trying to remember, did people bring food? Yes, and people brought food and we ate. It wasn't the same as in my home. It was different, and it was in the evening, but people did bring food. I wouldn't ask these people to bring food. But if we were gonna start doing Women Who Write at my mother's place, people could bring food, or we could have them cater it. The only thing is we'd have to pay for the space and for the food. So I don't know, I'd have to charge, I don't know, some money, but then we could have a monthly event and we could put it out on Zoom so that you guys could be there with us. What do you think? I'm thinking this could work. This could be the start of this could be the start of something big. This could be the start of a whole new thing. And I'm thinking on my feet because I hadn't even thought about the second part until I just started to say that. It might be a good place. I don't know if they've got the insurance to have these events, but I know they do shows there. Maybe they'd pay me to do it once a month and invite guests to come in and perform for their people. Maybe I could pay the talent. Wow, this is getting crazy right here. All right, well, it's something to think about. And it might all start with Lainey. And that would be great fun. And there's actually other people. Diane Ladd used to live there. She just moved up to Ojai, but she was living there. It'd be great to interview Diane. She has a book out with her daughter, Laura Dern, that they wrote together about mothers and daughters. And Diane's working on another book. Connie Stevens is there. I mean, this could be crazy. So I could interview Honey, my mother. Wouldn't you guys love that? So anyway, there's that. I didn't do Game Changers last week because at the last minute, Bob Cowsill found out that he couldn't do the show. And they're on the road doing the Happy Together tour, the Cowsills. And for those of you who don't know, there's an incredible video on my YouTube channel of Valerie Perrine. No, but I do know Valerie's person, Stacy, who has been Valerie's best friend and confidant and kind of caretaker for the last many years. But the last I saw Valerie, she was sort of bedridden. I'm not sure Valerie is up and about, but she's great. I actually asked her back then, this was before the pandemic, if she would let me interview her, and she said yes. So I should check in and see if that might still be possible. I would go over and you'd love for me to interview my mother. I bet you guys would, wouldn't you? So anyway, on my YouTube channel, there's a video with Bob Cowsill. It's on my homepage on my YouTube channel. It's got 202,000 views. It was when Bob Cowsill did Women Who Write. He was the middle act. James Morrison from 24, our good friend James, was the opener, and James sang. He was a musical guest, which was fabulous. And then Bob did about 40 minutes of talking and singing, and Ed Asner was the headliner. And Ed did a little, like a little playlet that Deborah Perlman wrote just for the occasion. And he said, you know, I wanted to have this in it because, you know, I'm doing it for these women. And they ended up filming that playlet with Ed and Jean Smart, and it ended up being this short film. But anyway, it started in my living room. So Bob has the distinction of having the most views of any artist on my YouTube channel, and it's an incredible 40 minutes. And Bob has since done, did the Road Taken ones, did Game Changers, and then did Game Changers not that long ago with Susan and with Paul, the Cowsills as they are today. And each time, just phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to it. I can usually talk Bob into playing. He doesn't have to have his arm twisted very hard. Hopefully he'll have his guitar, and I love that Bob will just, you know, tell a story and then just play the song. And Bob can sound like anybody, which is, I love it the best when he sounds like himself, when he does his own music, but he also does great covers, and he's just amazing. He's so talented and fun, and I just really adore him. And so I'm really looking forward to Game Changers on Wednesday, this Wednesday, but note, please, it's at a special time. It's at 2 p.m. Pacific time, because he has a Happy Together show that evening. So this Wednesday at 2 p.m., I'll be back with Game Changers. It's been a long time. I feel like it's been at least 6 weeks since we've had a Game Changers. I'm trying to remember. Nile Rodgers wasn't the last one. I'm trying to remember who was last. Maybe Kevin Jenkins, my friend Kevin. And we have some great Game Changers coming up. Tommy James did commit and take a date. He'll be with us on September 3rd. My very first concert, Tommy James and the Shondells. Can't wait to interview Tommy. I'm interviewing Liberty DeVito. If you've watched the Billy Joel special, Liberty was Billy's drummer for many years, and he's featured prominently in the Billy Joel documentary that's out right now. That's wonderful if you haven't seen it. My great friend Bet Sussman, who played on Letterman many times and has played, was it with Bette Midler? Was she Bette Midler's MD? I think. She's amazing. Keyboardist and wonderful woman. And I just met, okay, so on Friday night, you guys talk so that I know you're still there, because mine has kind of stopped after Pia said would love for you to interview your mother. So talk to me so that I know that the comments are still happening, please. Yes, okay, there's Esther. How about, I'd love to interview Mickey Dolenz again. And don't think I haven't asked. Mickey was the very first person I went to when I got my radio show, which is how Game Changers started. It was the road taken. It was on Conversations Network, Radio Network. And I went to Mickey first, and Mickey didn't respond. And so, thank you. And I went to Mike Nesmith, and Mike agreed, and Mike was my first guest. May he rest in peace. Hi, Ann, it was great to see you today. Doing a bit of work, so you're multitasking, that's okay. I do that quite often myself. I don't know what this is, folks, but, we're wearing the white pants. We're wearing little beige, kind of cloggy things, and we're wearing this interesting, because I wanted a little tiny little pink and white scarf, but I found this, and I thought, well, that kind of works. Ring up the guy. Now his name is not coming to me. The guy from the band The Turtles that you know. I did. I asked Howard, and I've spoken to Howard a couple of times, and I'm going to have to really twist his arm. Howard doesn't want to do stuff anymore. He doesn't do the Happy Together tour anymore. He hasn't done it for a few years because he wasn't feeling up to it. And he wasn't feeling up to doing podcasts either. So we'll see if I can talk. I love Howard. He has the best stories, and he's so fun. But anyway, I've gone back to Mickey and Donna a number of times and asked again for him to do this, and I will not give up trying. The last of the monkeys, the last of the remaining monkeys, and now he does solo shows, and he's actually touring now, so probably have to wait till he's off the road, although I don't think he's ever off the road for very long. And people can do it on the road. Actually, Bob Kausa will be with us this Wednesday, and he's got a show that night, and it's not a day off. He offered to do tonight, but shooting the shit's important. I didn't feel comfortable switching shooting and Game Changers. I guess I could have done that, but I don't know. Shooting the shit is Monday night, right? That's what we do. So, so on Friday night, Mark Maxey, who produced the documentary Up to Snuff about Snuffy, it was Mark's first Rolling Pictures documentary. He had worked on some other films, I guess, but this was the first that was his baby, his project, and he and Snuffy had been friends for a few years when they decided to do that. And Howard, that's the name, yes. So anyway, Mark invited Snuffy and I out to dinner on Friday night to Soho House, very shishi, and I'd only been there a few times for screenings. I used to go with Candy Clark. She would take me as her date, And one time we met Burt Young, who ended up becoming a very sweet and dear friend of mine. And we went to the movies with his son-in-law, and I went to his son-in-law's home and interviewed Burt, and we were in touch regularly prior to his passing, and I'm so grateful for that friendship. He was such a sweet man. But I met him there at Soho House at a little, they had this very sweet, small, intimate room with couches, and they would serve food, and then we'd go into this little tiny screening room with big overstuffed chairs to watch Academy Award nominated films. And Candy was in the Academy because she was up for an Oscar for American Graffiti, so we got to go. And she took me. Another time, it was to meet Timothy Chalamet, and it was long before he was a superstar. It was when he did Call Me By Your Name, I think. And I actually met him a few times, twice with Samantha, but at different schools. Once with Samantha, once another time on my own. But the first time was with Candy Clark. And in this very intimate room where they're happy to take selfies with you and all of that. But anyway, that was the two times I was at Soho House. But this, you have to be a member. It's a club, and Mark is, because he lives in DC, but there's a Soho House in New York, and there's one in LA, and there's one in London, and they're all over the place. So as he travels he's a producer, as he travels to put deals together, wheel and deal, he can have his business meals and his meetings at Soho House. So he invited us, and he was meeting with Nestor Carbonell. And I did not know him by name, nor did I put a face to a name until he said, well, he stars in the morning show. And he's the weatherman on the morning show, if you guys watch that. And it turns out he also won an Emmy this year as a guest star on Shogun. And I had watched Shogun, but I stopped about 3 episodes in. Snuffy watched the whole thing, loved it. I had a problem because Shogun is one of my favorite books of all time, as is Taipei, another James Clavell book. And with The Shining, and books that just took my breath away, and I read like without stopping. And Snuffy can't find the star button either. I don't know what's going on with the stars. Let me see if I can. Oh, see, they have them. They're not letting me enable the star button. Oh, those stinkers. Oh, come on. They're not letting me enable it. Oh, Facebook, why I oughta. Well, thank you for wanting to. Now I lost the comments. Oh, there you guys are. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with the star thing. It's very upsetting. Oh, the star. Thank you, Snuffy. I see that. Anyway, I was just telling Snuffy that we went with Mark to Soho House, and we met Nestor Carbonell, and I did not know him by name. So anyway, Snuffy watched all of Shogun. I did not, but I knew Nestor from the morning show, which Snuffy and I watch. It never shows up for me anymore. Wow, why would they keep you from... I don't know. It's just screwed up. It's very manipulative. And I actually got a notification from Facebook yesterday that I am a fan favorite, and they're going to be putting my stuff out to more people, which is also a lie because the numbers are very low today. But it said they're going to start putting, because I have such good content and I interact with my fans, you're not fans, you're friends, they're going to put me out there in the world more, and they're not. No shit, Sherlock. Those schnooks. Yeah, I know. So, anyway, so we had this dinner, and Esther got stars. I guess I must have done something, and now they're working. Snuffy, see if it's working for you. Pia, is it working for you? Because Esther just sent stars. Thank you, Esther. That's lovely. I appreciate that. I guess they must, the powers that be must have heard me. Well, I was trying to turn it on and it wasn't letting me, but I guess it did. So in any case, it ends up that he's this lovely man, and he and his wife met co-starring on some show. He was on Suddenly Susan, and knows Judd Nelson, another friend, and my star button is missing. Maria, you know, that's what a few people said early. No, it's not working for Pia. It's not working for Snuffy. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to make it work, and no, they're not letting me turn it on. So I don't know how Esther was able to do it, but thank you, Esther. I appreciate it. So in any case, what are you laughing at, Esther? I can't tell. So in any case, where was I going? Oh, so he knows my friend Judd Nelson. Yes, I love Judd Nelson, so do I. And he also knows very well Nicole Venables, my hairdresser, because Nicole is the Emmy-winning hairdresser from the morning show. And he reminded me that Nicole won the Emmy this year. And it turns out that Nestor was the one. Oh, somebody just gave me stars. Pia got stars. Thank you, Pia. So it turns out that, Snuffy, do you have stars now? Because Pia has them now, and so does Esther. I'm not saying that you should give me stars or anything. So it turns out that oh yes, that's my Snuffy. Thank you, darling. Speaking of stars, who's always so generous, Andrew's not here with us today. I wonder why. He commented on my Facebook earlier. And I think the numbers button is broken too, because it hasn't moved this whole show. Yes, there are stars, so that's really nice. So in any case, I think we're going to have a visitor soon, and I haven't even started to talk. Yay, yes, yay, thank you. I haven't even started to talk about Rufus yet, but before I get to that, get stars. Oh, you got stars on your phone, not on your PC? Interesting. You can usually get them on your PC? Snuffy, you must be on your phone because you got them there. Snuffy had stars. Yeah, now they're working. Snuffy has stars. Speaking of Snuffy and stars, for those of you who don't know, Snuffy is a composer and did the music for The West Wing as well as 100 other television shows. Here he comes! Here he comes! Rufus! Come on, hurry up! Hurry up, everybody's waiting for you! Look at him trotting. Rufus hasn't been trotting before, but he's back to trotting. Come on, Ru! Come on, say hi to everybody. Everybody's waiting for you. Okay, sit. 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 He wants a treat. He's used to a treat. Sit. Sit. Come on. Good boy. There's a good boy. Oh, everybody wants to see you, Rufus. I haven't told everybody what's doing with you. So I haven't given you guys the health update. When last I spoke to you last Monday, Rufus had given a needle biopsy to see what was going on his butt. And I don't know if, wait, Ru, come here. I want to show everybody. Wait, come here. Come here. See? Oh, he's sitting on it. Well, stand up for a minute. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Come on. I'm going to give you a cookie. Stand up. Stand up. Rufus, come on. Wait. You want a cookie? Wait, everybody, just wait, because I wanted to show you, although I posted, oh, this is really hard. Rufus, stay in the picture so people can see you while I bend down. Okay, here we go. We're going back here, Rufus. Come on. Come on. Now, can you guys see this? Oh, no, he's going to sit. Well, he's just a good boy. All right, here you go. Okay. So, oh, you're such a good boy. Oh, somebody, was that Snuffy who said, no, get your cookie. Get your cookie. Maybe if I turn it this way, I can get him to show you. Here, over here. Over here, turn around. Turn around. Over here. Over here. See, can you guys see over here? No. He's got a bald spot. But, okay, okay. You want to go to Dad? Oh, sit. Be a good boy. Sit. Rufus, come on. Sit. Rufus, sit. Good boy. What a good boy. I hope you guys can see him. I don't know if you guys can see him. I think this thing might be too high. You can see him now. There he is. There's a good boy. There's a good boy. There's a sweet good boy. There's a sweet good boy. Yes. You've had a hard week, haven't you? You've had a hard week. Okay, you want to go to Dad? Go ahead. Go ahead. Bye-bye, Rufus. Bye-bye. We'll see you soon. So, okay. So now, oh, hi. Thank you, Jim. That was very sweet of you to send stars. Everybody's saying hi to Rufus, Rufus, Rufus. Oh. So I appreciate the stars, everybody. I really do. So, okay, so I told you that we had taken him. Oh, he wants into Snuffy's studio, which the door is closed. Snuffy will let him in. So they took a needle biopsy. We did not find out until we got a call from the vet on Wednesday telling us that there were no abnormal cells, but it was infection, but they weren't sure what kind of infection and they weren't sure what kind of antibiotic to give him. So we went and they were giving him a basic all-around antibiotic. I think it's amoxicillin. And when we were there, they shaved Rufus over in that spot and drew a Sharpie circle around what they said was a mass of some kind. And we were to watch it and to see if the antibiotics brought it down. And they made an appointment for him for this Friday. It's a 10-day round of antibiotics. So far he's been on it all day Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He's had 5 days of doses, half of Wednesday, half of today so far. And an antibiotic can take 5 days to sort of start doing its thing. So Rufus for a week was just not himself. He was just laying, didn't have the fire in his eyes, wasn't like playing with us, wasn't really laying with us. He was laying away from us. It was really upsetting. And just on Saturday, Harry and Samantha were here for a while, and Rufus came to life, and he was kind of himself that morning when we were sitting outside having coffee, and then when the kids were here. He loves the kids, just loves. He was all over Harry, all over Samantha, and and so now the spot is still warm to the touch, but it's soft, and it's definitely gone down because now we can feel the bone, which is there on both sides. But they had made an appointment to give him an actual biopsy where they'd have to sedate him and do a tissue sample for this Friday. And she got in touch with Snuffy today and said, well, how's Rufus doing? And we were like, well, it's still there. And she said, well, if it's still there after the antibiotic, then we want to do this thing on Friday and come by before and we'll give you something to give him the night before. Oh, who sent stars? Thank you, Pia. And come the night before and we'll give you something to, and then so when we go to sedate him, we won't have to give him as much of the stuff. And you know what? I don't want to do all this and have him go through a biopsy. The biopsy results have not changed. No abnormal cells have shown up. They've been watching them. And that's a good thing. But I don't want him to have that invasive biopsy unless he has to. And I believe he's only on day 5 of the antibiotic. He still has 5 more days. I think he's going to be better, and I want to wait it out. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to drive him over there tomorrow and have them take a look and see if, that there's improvement. And if he continues to improve, maybe we'll push that appointment another week and hope that, because antibiotics don't just work when you're taking them, they continue to work for days after you stop. So he's got at least another week of healing that's going to get done. And I don't want him to have to go through that. So that's where we're at with Rufus, and I would prefer to wait it out and not have to do that to him unless it's absolutely necessary. And I just went like this, and I'm reminded. So I wore MAC Cherish lipstick 25 years ago, and I switched to Clinique Bamboo probably, I don't know, over 10 years ago. I started wearing Clinique Bamboo. There was another MAC color that I used to wear. There were 2 big ones. It was Cherish, and then, which is a light nude pink one, and then there was a dark one. And I gotta tell you, I just started wearing the MAC Cherish again, not a month ago. And I got one online and I started wearing it again. And I go to get another one yesterday and they've discontinued it. That's been their #1 color for like 30 plus years, and they discontinue it now. I cannot find one. There is one available somewhere for $35. I'm not, you know, 35 and then shipping and handling. It's going to be $50 for a lipstick. I'm not doing it. But I've gone through this with my foundation, with my makeup, with Clinique 3 times already. I've gone through it with scents that I used to wear. I don't wear scents anymore. Although I discovered that I can wear scents. Craig put my feathers in, and when he did that, he put some product in my hair, and I had stopped wearing wax and goo and all that stuff because I had developed an allergy. I stopped wearing scents because I developed an allergy. I stopped trying creams and lotions, although I've been using lots of different ones in the last 2 months, and I've been okay. So it looks like my allergies to chemicals and all of that stuff has gone away. It had arrived suddenly right before I did the Henry Miller Library in Big Sur with Mike Nesmith performing at Women Who Write. And it was when I was going to do that, which was like in 2012, I want to say, 11, that I developed these allergies 14 years ago. And I think, poo-poo, they might be gone. So anyway, I went back to wearing the Cherish lipstick. Boom, it's gone. So I don't know. God, I wish I could remember the name of the other color that I wore. It was darker. But, now I can't find anything that looks like it. And I'm wearing it as like a base, so anyway, I'm like disgusted. Whenever I fall in love with something, not whenever, but so much. Oh, and then I had this under eye concealer that I got, this organic one that I used to get at Whole Foods, and they stopped making the color that I wore. It's like, what on earth are you guys doing? It's like they follow me around. Yes, I've been allergic to scents, fragrance, essential oils, all that stuff, but I think it's lifting. Yes, Cherish is discontinued. It's nuts. So that was another thing I wanted to talk to you. So the reason I brought up Nestor Carbonell is not only because he's lovely, but because I asked him if he would do this show, not this show, Game Changers. And he said that he would be happy to. So I don't know if he will. I hope he will. But so that would be Bob Cowsill and Liberty DeVito and Beth Sussman and Tommy James and hopefully Nestor. And so, and I have to take 1 week off the beginning of October because I have to go to a spine surgeon. And that was the only appointment I could get. And I took that appointment like 3 months ago. But other than that, we'll be here. But then Snuffy and I are going to go to Nashville and New Orleans at the end of October to celebrate my 70th. And it'll be the anniversary of the day that we met. And so there'll be lots of celebration to be had. And we're going to see McCartney on the day of my birthday, thanks to Brian Ray in New Orleans. And we'll be there for Halloween, and we're looking into things to do while we're in Nashville. I want to go to the Grand Ole Opry. I don't care who's performing. I just want to have that experience. And the Ryman also is supposed to be phenomenal. So I have to look who's going to be there. And that's coming up. And what else did I want to... Oh, so we went out to dinner at Soho House. We went out to dinner on Wednesday night with Julie. And I'm totally spacing. I'm having a brain fart right now. Doug, oh my God, Julie and Doug. And we did that kind of on the fly on, I think that was Wednesday, right? Or was that Tuesday? And then we went to Soho House on Friday night. And then on Saturday night, we went to see Keb Mo. And he was at the Thousand Oaks Auditorium, I don't know, theater, whatever it was. Snuffy had gotten these incredible seats. We were in the second row. Amazing. And we went backstage and saw Keb afterwards. And that was lovely. And Ross was there. It was very nice. And we got to see David Helfand and a few other. I got to meet Kelly, Keb Mo's assistant, who had been so helpful to me when Keb did this show. And God willing, I'll be double nickels Double nickels. 55. Oh, on 9/9. Well, God willing, double nickels. That's cute. So what was red? I don't know. So anyway, so we had the night out then, and then yesterday, oof. Okay, here's my big story of the week. Yesterday, Snuffy and I went to see Weapons. Now, I know you guys, I'm sure, have been reading about it, seeing ads for it, maybe a preview or two. I gotta tell you, arguably my favorite horror movie that maybe I've ever seen. And it's not just horror. I don't want to give anything away, but it's completely unique. It breaks the rules. The writing, the casting, the acting, the directing, the filming, the editing, the score, it just works on every level. I loved every second of it. Julie Garner is phenomenal. Josh Brolin is phenomenal. There's someone else I'm not going to tell you about that's phenomenal. It's just terrific. And I loved it. I wish I could see it for the first time again. And I was having some reaction to it that I won't. I yelled out loud. I grabbed Snuffy. We both gasped out loud. But then we did something else out loud that I'm not going to talk about. And at first, Snuffy was like, no, he was shushing me before he realized that it was an appropriate response. But Weapons, it is spectacular. It is #1 at the box office. I think it's breaking every record. It is the summer smash hit. It is the smash hit of the summer. And I loved F1, but I love this even more. I loved F1, and they're completely different movies. But and I loved F1, but this is just phenomenal. I just can't recommend it highly enough. Run. And please see it in the theater. It's going to be on Fandango at home shortly, and I'm so glad we didn't wait and see it on Fandango at home for the first time. We'll definitely watch it again, but it should be experienced in the theater with other people and have that communal experience on the big screen. The sound was really screwed up. This is something that's been happening to us a lot lately that I'm trying to figure out. You know, I'm going to go get a hearing test. Snuffy always tells me that my hearing is terrible because I always turn the TV up, but his hearing is terrible. He's got the rock boy hearing. Oh, and this is what I started to tell you guys. I'm going to come back to the hits and misses of the week. If you have not heard Snuffy play and do his own music, Snuffy is the composer for The West Wing. He won an Emmy Award for it. Go away, because I'm talking about you now. And during the pandemic, they filmed, it was for The Vote, right? What was the special called? He's looking at me like, anyway, they did a special, and they reunited everybody from The West Wing, and they had Snuffy sit with an orchestra behind him, with a small orchestra, and he was playing his Olsen acoustic guitar, and he played on guitar the theme to The West Wing, which he wrote on piano. He is not an orchestral guy. He's coming in to say hello, because it's only because he wants the refrigerator. It's not because he wants to say hi to you guys. But
give you a kiss.
Oh, he's gonna give me a kiss. He's so sweet. So anyway, so Snuffy plays on his Olsen guitar the theme, and the filming, the staging, the instrumentation behind him is so magnificent. So if you go on his Facebook page, it's the top post, unless he posted something else today, which Snuffy's all of a sudden turned into a Facebook junkie. I don't know how this happened. He posted like 4 times last week. This guy hasn't posted 4 times in like all the years I've known him, but all of a sudden he posted this last week, and he's on there all the time. Oh, and people are saying he was fantastic. Jan, I saw your comment on his wall. And yes, go see it. Your page is public, right? Anybody can go see it. I think so. You can go see it.
It's not on the WG. It's on the regular Snuffy Walden. It's my personal.
Right. It's not on his professional page, WG Snuffy Walden. It's just on his Snuffy Walden personal page. And it's the top post, and it's just really magnificent to behold. So go watch that, and you'll have a real. And his hair was really long. It's very like George Washington, like the old guys with the powdered wigs kind of thing. It's really cool. Anyway, so what else are we watching this week? So Weapons, I told them, run to see Weapons. At home, the John F. Kennedy Jr. special on CNN, we watched the second part last night. It's wonderful, and he was just amazing. He's breathtaking. What a force he would have been had he not passed so young. I really believe he'd be our president now. We'd be in a completely different situation. His playing of Silent Night is the best I've ever heard. Oh, Maria. Did you hear that, Snuffy?
What?
Maria said your playing of Silent Night is the best she's ever heard.
Oh,
That's lovely. Yes. Okay, so we're also watching Code of Silence. It's on BritBox. I think I told you a couple weeks ago I did about Annika with Nicola Walker, which we loved. Only 2 seasons of that. We got through it really fast. Now we're watching Code of Silence. Only 1 season. It's taking us a little time because I keep falling asleep. We both do. But we like it. We don't like it, Snuffy. I know you're not going to put the sound. He's putting CNN on behind me to distract me and while I'm doing this show. Okay, and Code of Silence. I'm almost done. And I recommend it. It's not as good as Patience, but it's in that vein. If you haven't seen Patience, loved it. Also BritBox, like 6 episodes. And the latest Dexter, fabulous. 2 thumbs up for Dexter. Loving Dexter Resurrection. Love it. I hate that they're rolling him out and we have to wait for it, but it's worth waiting for. It's really great. And he doesn't have that ridiculous hair that he had in the last series. Whatever that was, between Dexter and Dexter Resurrection, there was that other Dexter, and he had those weird back. No, he looks much better now. And I think that's everything that I wanted to tell you guys about. I made a little list so I wouldn't forget, because I've been forgetting things. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. So I love you guys. I will see you Wednesday with Bob Cowsill. I ended up talking an hour. I'll see you Wednesday with Bob Cowsill, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Don't forget early. I want you guys there live because Bob's really fun and he'll answer questions. And if you do a request and ask him to play Hair, he'll play it. If you ask him to play The Rain, the Park, and Other Things, he'll play it. So I'm going to make sure he has his guitar. I'm sure he will. And yes, 2 thumbs up for Dexter. I agree. So have a wonderful rest of your Monday. And I will see you Wednesday afternoon. And everybody, if you would keep Rufus in your prayers. And I'll take a few myself because I got to tell you, this thing, painful. Snuffy got me this great full arm ice pack. It's a sleeve. You put. I ordered a couple of other sleeves so I don't have to wear these ridiculous things. But anyway, it's a sleeve and you put it in the freezer and then it goes all the way up here because I have a bad shoulder too. But anyway, so if you give good thoughts to me for my healing, I'd appreciate. But more than that, please keep Rufus in your prayers. And let's hope that the antibiotics do their thing and his tushy's all better in the next day or so. I love you all. I see the X and the O, Tony. Have a great... And Tony, I owe you pictures in the morning. Okay, everybody. I'll see you on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time with Bob Cowsill. Bye-bye.